I guess that gives you a new outlook on the world, hmm?
It's about the same as it always is.
Same old stuff, huh? Hey, come here. Do you want this? Look how much fun they're having.
It's a lot more difficult on the curves, eh, Sylvia?
Look out, dog! George! Stop that, I said! If he'd come any closer, he'd cut off her head.
That sort of man is a psychopath. And he has to be rolling in dough.
The kind who never pays the price. If he killed her, it would have been dismissed as an accident. If you wanted to murder me, you almost made it.
I do apologize, Sylvia, for my stupidity. I'd be quite upset, actually, if I ever got carried off to prison because of you.
That's impossible. You're not the kind who ever goes to prison.
Quite right. But it would have caused no end of tediousness. And I detest tedium.
However, if I wanted to murder you, George, I'd have to take great care to cover my tracks.
You're much too intelligent to even think of it. One doesn't kill the gander who owns the golden eggs. Oh, what a bore. It's him again. Let me talk to him alone, Sylvia. It'll only take me a few minutes to get rid of him. Then I'll join you in the bar. Hello, Nikolai. What a surprise.
They told me you were in town. I thought we
might... Of course. Let's sit down.
Afternoon. The usual?
No, I don't want to drink today, thank you. I'm thinking of killing an old acquaintance, and I'd prefer to stay completely lucid.
If you need somebody killed, I'll do it for you.
Thanks. Would you really?
Well, perhaps I would, for a consideration.
I can imagine what you're considering, Tony.
I doubt if I'd be the first man who's ever asked you for a favor.
No. And I hope there'll be many others, too.
Hey, look. That guy that was water skiing.
I honestly don't think there's any purpose in my continuing this talk any longer. I'm afraid there's no turning back.
You know there's no alternative. Won't you give me a new option or extend my letters of credit?
I'm not in the habit of changing the conditions of a sale. Sylvia. Sylvia, come over here a minute and say hello to my old friend, Captain Nikolai. This is probably the last opportunity you'll have for a long while.
There's really no need to bother the young lady. And I can promise you I won't bother you again either. Thanks for listening anyway, and good luck to you. If you ever need any help, I hope you're able to find it.
Don't worry, and if anyone needs a bit of luck around here, I think it's you. Tony, I'm celebrating. Whip up a couple of specials. I've just torpedoed another leaky vessel.
Is that true? Wasn't there anything you could do for him?
The business world is no place for incompetent imbeciles, dear.
But at least you could have given him a hand.
Put the glass on the check, too. Get me a drink.
Do you want ice, George?
It's never been my policy to let anyone tell me what to do. And I don't intend to make an exception in your case. Nikolai's a stupid imbecile, and how I treat him is my affair. Understand?
But I felt sorry for the poor man. It was very upsetting.
Well, you won't make the same mistake again.
I give you my word. I promise, George. George, my arm. You break my arm, George.
That'll be enough for now. Now ask me to pardon you.
Forgive me, George. Please forgive me.
Morning, darling.
Hi. I'm going down to lie in the sun. I'll see you later.
Okay, dear.
If you're interested in the one in the catalog, it's over there on the far wall.
You mean to say you admire that?
You haven't let me say anything yet. It'll do. I suppose you think this one's better. In my opinion, it's rather dull.
But it's something real anyway.
A member of the working class. I detest the working class. And I mustn't buy more than one. I haven't the space for both of them.
Well, make your own choice. After all, it's your money.
Stormy weather?
No, just the sound of your footsteps getting closer.
You're very sure of yourself.
If I were a man, I would have done just what you did. That's how I knew it was you. The same way I know you got the picture of the solitary worker.
Look.
So I was wrong, but the score is still 1-0. I bet that tub out there is yours.
How did you figure that out?
Intuition.
Good for you. Very shrewd.
It was easy.
Do I look like the seafaring type?
You look like the type who always owns that kind of boat.
Would you like to see it?
Why? Do you want to screw me?
What's your name?
Barbara, what's yours?
George. Want any more information?
I might, you could be quite interesting.
Will you have dinner with me tonight?
Why not?
In that case, meet me at 8 at the restaurant Lamplight.
All right.
Please be punctual.
Single table? Fellow called George is expecting me. There. Oh, thanks. Are you George? Barbara said she's going to be a little late, and she asked me to stand in for her. May I? Hors d'oeuvres? They're nothing great, but I feel famished. You know, this kind of crap needs something to wash it down with. Why don't you order some wine?
Would you prefer any special type of wine?
No, anything. Just have them put it in a nice bucket.
Hector.
Let me have another one, please, Tommy.
Are you alone this evening, madam?
Yeah.
Men are such rats, aren't they? Don't you feel like that? We already met earlier today.
This morning, in that boutique. May I offer you something? At least a drinking companion to cheer me up. I hate having to spend my evening on my own.
You've already had plenty.
Why does everybody order me around like this?
I don't. I'll leave that up to George. That's his specialty.
George? You mean you're a friend of his?
Tonight, George is having a supper party for some friends. You must have known.
No, but I confess I guessed it. From his manner tonight when he said I was to leave him alone.
Never mind. I have a superb idea. Let's pay him a surprise visit.
You mean it? I'm willing.
Okay, let's go. Sorry, Sylvia and I are late, George. Apparently you forgot to ask her. I happened to stop at the hotel. Or didn't you know I'm one of Sylvia's best friends?
I hope I'm not disturbing you, George. I'm sure it's my fault for forgetting. But still, I wouldn't have come, only Barbara insisted, so I had to.
I didn't forget. I just didn't invite you. But since you are here, have a chair. Hector.
Madam, would you like to order now?
What do you have?
We'll leave it up to you. Nothing but the best.
I hope you have fresh oysters.
Yes, madam. They just arrived this morning, sir. Madam?
Oysters are a powerful aphrodisiac. You should be careful.
I'm well aware of it, but that's what makes them so delicious. Did you mind when I suddenly arrived?
Don't be ridiculous. I haven't had so much fun in a dog's age.
But where did you ever find amusing friends like these, George? It's such a pleasant surprise.
As you know, Sylvia, I, too, enjoy pleasant surprises. And since we get along with these youngsters so well already, I'd like to extend an invitation. Sylvia and I spend every weekend aboard the yacht. Suppose you join us for a cruise.
The two of us?
Obviously. I see Barbara is playing a heavy game of teasing with me, and I assure you, I don't intend to throw the sponge in. It would be the first time.
Sylvia, what's your opinion?
Sylvia's opinion is the same as mine. Tell her yourself, dear. Isn't that true?
Of course, it would be marvelous if you people could join us on the yacht for a cruise. We'd have a wonderful time. You'd love it.
There's your invitation. Sylvia would love to have you on board as our guests.
Okay. If Barbara's coming along, I'll go along, too.
Sure.
Then we'll drink to camaraderie.
To newfound friends.
I think we'll enjoy ourselves immensely.
I think it'll be a marvelous weekend. I feel sure of it.
George has a regular stateroom. Naturally, it's much bigger than the others, as you'd expect. He likes a place where he can indulge himself whenever he wants to.
You mean you don't sleep with him?
No, I'm only allowed in the inner sanctum when the Sultan is looking for a sex object. And besides, that's not all there is to it.
Yeah, sure, I bet. He can bring back any girl he wants. Does that happen a lot?
All the time. And from my cabin, I can hear it all.
Really? And you permit it? You never pay him back?
Not me. George frightens me. You wouldn't believe how angry he can get.
It's stupid never to have second thoughts. Even Sylvia thinks it's beautiful. Don't you?
Yes, but it doesn't look finished.
I know. But I felt confident this one would surprise Barbara. That other one I was thinking of was just a mindless splattering.
Yes, you're right. Almost as if it was a great red blood stain, wasn't it?
The southern Mediterranean, calm for the next 24 hours. Winds, moderate to fresh in the northern area, quickening to strong breezes in the central and southern areas. Moderate northwesterly in the eastern part of the Mediterranean. Temperatures will remain stationary in the north, rising slowly in the central and southern areas. Visibility is good to excellent with the exception of some early morning fog.
Sylvia, are you ready with the meal yet?
Almost.
You'll be cold like that, Barbara. Why don't you get a sweater? There's one in the locker in your cabin.
Thanks.
You hungry? What's the matter?
Hungry enough. I was just wondering how you managed to put up with someone like George.
You better get up on deck. I already have enough to do. I'm sure you don't want to go without supper tonight.
Would you like a break now?
You know, I have a feeling that you've probably been in the Navy.
The Naval Academy for Officers. And I was given command of a cruiser. I went down with all hands on board.
Come on, that kind of line doesn't fool me.
You got radar, radio telephone, and an automatic pilot. This damn boat can run by itself. I'll go help the girls instead.
No, you stay here a while. As for the girls, I'll look after them.
What are you looking for?
The salt.
It's in that cupboard. There.
Now, there's a picture worth framing.
Don't you ever get cold from the waist down?
I'm afraid I thought this pullover would be long enough.
Depends on what you want to keep warm.
She knew you were watching. I'll bet anything.
The trip's hardly begun, but the bickering has started. Barbara, I'd better tell you something. I loathe hearing women quarreling.
May I?
You're welcome, dear.
I'm just mad about caviar. And many other things, too.
May I have another go at it?
Obviously, it's all yours if you're hungry enough.
You mind? They say that caviar is another aphrodisiac.
And yet an aphrodisiac is the one thing that none of us happens to need.
So much for that. And now that you're bloated with aphrodisiac, go and drop the anchors. We should be over a shallow bottom.
Aye, aye, sir. Commander. A mighty heavy drinker, the commander.
When I'm the object of your comments, you can address me.
Mighty heavy drinker, commander.
The picture has been reframed, as you see.
It's true I'm a heavy drinker. What's it to you?
If you feel like ruining your liver, that's your bag.
He's like this every night, but I'm not allowed to say a thing.
But I hope nobody would expect me to do anything a bird-brained bitch like her would suggest.
Is behavior like this normal for him?
No, this is one of his best moods. Right, darling? Remember the time you broke my nose? And that other time when you twisted my arm out of joint?
Evidently, your life together is an unceasing round of joy.
Actually, she's very happy this way. Even if you two don't believe it, we're much more fond of each other than would appear.
That's your version of the story. Tell me what Sylvia thinks.
Sylvia isn't the sort who thinks, are you? She didn't even remember to get the papers before we left.
On the contrary, I did. Here they are. Reading the news will help you to digest your supper, dear.
It's the man we saw this morning, isn't it?
Do you know him, too?
We made his acquaintance this morning. A man of real distinction, but a bit unfriendly. Perhaps because he was dead.
In Sylvia's opinion, it was I who murdered him.
But it was suicide. They found the gun beside him, the one he used to shoot himself with.
Yes, but he certainly wouldn't have done it if he'd managed to get some help.
And I won't pretend it's because I've been drinking too much either. That was my first today.
And when you've finished the bottle, how do you feel? Like murdering her?
You keep your nose out of my business, or you can go back to port on foot. Hey! Hey! Look what I brought you. You like it? It's still alive. You frightened of it? I just killed a moray eel.
You didn't kill it. You slaughtered the poor creature.
If it had had the opportunity, the poor creature would have slaughtered me.
No, that's not true. It's always men who are the most ferocious creatures. The animals only kill to defend themselves or for food.
You're right, Sylvia. You're getting more intelligent day by day. You hit it exactly. Everything a man does is solely for his own amusement. That's the only law. Nothing else matters in nature other than pleasure. It could only be one of us who did it, that's clear. And whichever of us it was is clearly the most intelligent.
You mean taking the keys was clever?
Our relationship should be much more relaxed now that it's impossible to lock ourselves out of each other's lives. You know, Sylvia sketches a lot. It's marvelous. You have no end of virtue. Of which the greatest is you don't talk much.
What's this on the radar?
It's a small island. Entirely deserted. We'll be stopping there tonight. I want to stop drinking. And give up cigarettes. Do you mind taking the helm for me? Hiram, I'm thinking of giving you a gift. Something you like, I know. Don't worry, you'll be delighted. You're jealous of Barbara, aren't you? She's your girl, isn't that so? You wouldn't want anyone to steal her, would you?
Well, Barbara's big enough to do what she feels like. No, nobody owns Barbara, and nobody owns me either.
I know you're really going to like this gift I'm going to give you.
What a marvelous odor. Why don't you do something to help? Here.
Any sailor who's really worthy of the name has to be a good cook, too. That's a fact.
Well, it's too bad we haven't gotten the oysters, though.
Here.
That's it.
I've got the plates ready.
Give me your plate.
This time Hiram's really outdone himself.
It's cooked just right, even if I do say so myself. Here, give this one to George. On a ship, there's only one captain. He's got the power of life and death over all of us, so the first portion goes to the most important man. No, not for her. No fish for her.
Oh.
Here are your oysters. You satisfied?
Marvelous. Thanks.
Good for Hero. I've got a surprise for you, too. Now, to go with your oysters, Sylvia, you can have a bottle of excellent vintage white burgundy. Here, catch.
Oh, a good player never allows himself to get caught off balance. Right, George?
I'm not sure if George is a good player or not.
Here you go.
My mask feels too tight.
That's because you didn't wet it first.
Oh.
I'll see you downstairs. Adieu.
Give me a hand.
Hurry up, kid. Here I go.
Yeah, but the trouble is they may outbid us, and their operation is big enough for it. All right, now, just let me speak for a while. Don't forget you're only my lawyer, and I'm in charge. I'm afraid I don't give a shit what you said to the union leaders or to the bank. I told you to listen and shut up. I have no intention of touching my Swiss bank account. When everyone else is smuggling out his capital, do you really expect me to import currency on the sly? You're talking like a half-wit. I said I intend to shut down. There's no question about it. I'm operating a factory, not a poorhouse. Don't worry, I'll take the responsibility. If 600 workers can't turn out a marketable product, let the government look after them. And if your other ideas aren't any brighter than that one, don't waste my money on telephone calls.
So you're firing 600 workers?
That's my worry. It doesn't concern anyone else.
Perhaps it also concerns the 600 workers.
I hope you're not going to start telling me how I should act. Hey, what the hell is this? While you're on this boat, you'll take my orders.
The current was pulling the boat onto those rocks. Can you see that now?
I must apologize, Hiram. That was a pretty close call. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. You're beautiful.
So Sylvia did.
And passionate. You must have enjoyed making love together.
Sylvia makes me sad.
Sylvia has everything a woman could want.
But she doesn't really have anyone's affection.
And exactly what does that have to do with me?
I think Sylvia feels very lonely, mainly because of your crazy ego tripping.
I couldn't care less about her. Besides, I do whatever I like, and she knows that. I could even have you.
Yes, you could have had me if you wanted. But so far you haven't done it.
Because I wanted to decide on the right moment.
The reason I think you haven't done it so far is because you must be afraid.
Me afraid? But that's ridiculous.
I think maybe you're afraid that Sylvia might react and try making it with Ira.
She wouldn't even think of doing something like that. She knows she'd be sorry.
You presume to give everyone orders, but do you actually think that they'll obey them?
It's been that way so far.
But eventually things must change.
What are you trying to say?
I think you're riding for a fall, that's all.
Come on, damn it. Why don't you answer?
It's out of order.
Where were you?
In the sailor's cabin in the bow. I went to see about the stock of spare parts.
Where the devil are Barbara and Sylvia?
They're around here someplace. I don't know, one of the cabins.
What's going on anyway? What are you doing behind my back?
Please, George, don't go on. Of course we never left the boat at all, and if you didn't drink so much, you would have found us.
I think the whole thing's pretty fishy.
I better start getting supper ready.
Not for me.
He's not hungry, only thirsty.
I intend to find out who's doing all this. And I want to know exactly what that painting means.
Whatever's going on board, it can only be one of us who's doing it. You said that yourself.
Then it's either you or Sylvia, because you're the only ones who can draw.
So can I.
I don't believe it. Prove it. Let's see. Ah, a brilliant likeness. You're very clever, Barbara. You have a remarkable talent. Too bad you don't do something serious. And you have beautiful legs.
I better begin getting dinner.
That dirty son of a bitch, louse!
What is it?
Hiram just tried to kill me. Oh, 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 oh.
Touch your breathing apparatus. He was working on this one, which is mine, and he even warned me not to use it because it seemed not to work.
What's wrong with you? Why the dirty look?
There was a defect in his airline, and he thinks that you were responsible.
Suits me. If you'll make me heir to your fortune, I'll put you out of your misery in half an hour, but I'll need that long to organize things perfectly.
As long as you're aboard, I have every right to my suspicions, and there are things going on I'm not happy about, like yesterday.
Things such as?
The drawing in my cabin. Who did it? Was one of you really trying to scare me? Anyway, whoever it was is now trying to kill me. One of you three is a son of a bitch, and when I find out who, I'll murder him myself. After all, there's no possibility I'd go to prison. Don't forget that.
It's a real pity, too.
Go and weigh anchor. It's time to get going. You hear? That's an order! Boy, I'm going to make you pay for this.
Here. Don't mention it. He's begun drinking early this morning. I guess fear makes him thirsty.
Hey, look out!
Well, perhaps he'll drink a bit less, and that's better for all of us.
Get a move on. Go and get me another bottle. Hurry.
Sure, of course. After all, the only pleasure I get out of life is a smile on your face.
Hiram, start the engine up and plot a course for home. It's the end of the cruise.
Are we going back already?
You bet we are. I prefer not to go any farther in the company of three sons of bitches.
You don't mean us by any chance, do you?
Shift your ass and do what I told you to do.
Well, it's about time.
If you really want to know, I think your kindness is getting more and more suspicious. No, thanks. I prefer to carry on with whiskey. Don't mix your drinks. That's the way to stay sober when you're drinking. Do you mind, Hiram? I don't even know what the word drunk means. Why all the gloom? Are you sorry we're going home? Hiram. That's funny. What the hell do they call you that for?
It's what's on my birth certificate.
Oh. Yeah, but your parents, why did they ever call you Hiram?
Never been bothered by the problem.
That's my point. With you youngsters of today, you never, ever bother about any problems at all. Just like animals. Charming fellow, Hiram. Isn't he, Sylvia?
Miss Barbara, don't you agree? How is she in bed? Marvelous? Exciting?
I doubt if you'll actually believe what I'm going to say. Our relations are innocent to an exasperating degree. Oh, yeah, I told you, didn't I? You remember I said I wanted to give you something like a merit badge for a Boy Scout? To be really fair, I'd better warn you that it's a kind of bargain.
You better shut up. You're completely pissed.
Just let me finish. I'll give you her. Sylvia. Mm-hmm. She's the most beauteous creature I've ever possessed, and it's only fair that you should enjoy her. She's yours, your merit badge. You were expecting this sort of gift, huh? However, you don't make it until I give the word, understand? I'll pick the right time. Get me, Hiram? And don't you dare try to do anything without my permission.
Be quiet.
You sit down! I'll tell you when the right time comes. I have no intention of getting the short end of this pretty bargain. That isn't the way I run my business.
He's passed out, completely blotto.
Where's Hiram?
He's topside. He's been waiting.
I dropped off to sleep just now, and I dreamt I was drowning. I was sinking through the waves.
Yeah, waves of whiskey.
Huh. And in my dream, I suddenly saw you having a threesome. But that couldn't be true, could it? Sylvia, tell me it's not true. You wouldn't have the courage to do a thing like that to me. Sylvia, I order you to give me an answer.
You're all through giving me orders, George. You're all through for good.
You little bitch!
Hiram!
You keep out of my business!
Are you crazy? Hiram!
To hit you, George. It was an accident. Really, I didn't mean to. Forgive me, George. I was only trying to frighten you.
Do you know what the ancient Romans used to do to rebel slaves, Sylvia? They cut them up and fed them to the moray eels.
Save me! He's gone crazy! Stop him! He'll kill me!
Get off me, quick!
Sylvia! No!
Nothing. It was just a little accident, that's all. Just a simple, normal accident. Sylvia fell overboard, and we must go back and get her. What are you staring at, you shit? You can have Sylvia like I promised you. If you really want her, we'll have to go back and get her. Have to hurry, it'll be too late.
Have a drink, you'll feel better. Then we'll go back and pick her up.
Sure. Now that Sylvia is your girlfriend. And I won't ask you to give me Barbara anymore.
You'd better have another glass. I think you're going to be needing it.
That must be a very refreshing view.
It's the same as it always is, even if it looks just a little bit cleaner.
Too bad that's all the difference is.